Welcome back to another edition of Final Fantasy Eras. We're playing Final Fantasy 2 right now. We went ahead and proved our strength to the rebels at Altair, traveling all the way up to the town of Finn, checking out what the scenario was, reporting back, bringing back the ring. And now, with Minwoo at our side, we will be heading east to a brighter and better future for all of us. So, first things first, let me talk about where we're at right now. I did a little bit of grinding in the off time between episodes, so we do have everyone up to level 3 on like everything that they have, including Cure is at level 5 and level 4 for Furion and Maria respectively. We've been using that a lot. You can see their numbers have gone way up as far as hit points, magic points. We haven't got Guy any magic yet. That will probably change soon, maybe this episode, we'll see. And Minwoo is Minwoo. We're not doing anything with them. He's just kind of there. Currently, our strongest equipment is going to be the axe for everybody. So we have everyone except Minwoo equipped with an axe, and he may have an axe to grind with us because we're not really paying much attention to him, but that's fine. One thing I want to do, I would be remiss if we did not check back in with everyone. We obviously checked in with Princess Hilda after getting Minwoo in our party, but I think we should talk to the other people in the hideout and in the town and see what the vibe is right now, because things obviously can change at a moment's notice. Now, let's start with this guy kind of wandering around, see what he has to say. He says, you must find a way to bring Mithril back to Altair. Good news, buddy. That's what we're working on today. The wizard, he knows what we're up to. We're off to Salaman now. Go east to the port city of Plume and take a ship from there. Whelps like you could never make it that far on foot. Buddy, if that's a challenge, I got news for you. We can make it on foot. The weapons we have now are no match for the Imperial armories. If we had weapons made of Mithril, we'd finally have a fighting chance. So it seems like this Mithril thing that we heard nothing about prior to going to Finn is becoming a big deal. I'm not going to talk to the tutorial bros up there because they're just going to say the same shit. In here in the king's room, he is aware of the aid we've rendered and is most pleased. May your devotion remain unflagging. Let's talk to him. He pines over the fact that we've lost Scott. He'd proposed to Hilda, now he'll never hear her answer. And he always thought he'd make a fine husband for her. He seems like he's a little bit more alert, so let's check with him and ask him about some of the things we know. It looks like we can ask him about 3 of the 4 things. Let's use the password Wild Rose. He says, our crest has been trampled underfoot by the Imperial army. To think we could be so easily defeated. And then he finds out about Borgin betraying us. And he says, we did not fall to the sword, but to the corrupt hearts of men. Accurate. Very accurate. Let's talk about Mithril. He says, we believe Mithril was in common use once long ago. Some surviving records indicate Mithril was mined in the north near Summit Falls. Okay? And what about the Dreadnought? You know anything about that, boss? He says, what? The Empire would dare build such a weapon? This is the first I've heard of such a thing. So that's the way of it. They didn't tell me for fear of worrying me. I'm going to ask you about the airship. He just gives us a question mark. Look, you guys got to let the king know what's going on, okay? Don't put it all on the daughter. All right? Let's check with the other motley crew in here. He says, this guy says, with each passing day, the construction of the Dreadnought in Bafsk draws nearer to completion. The townspeople have been enslaved and are being forced to work without rest. Does not sound fun. Man at table says, you should be able to use that canoe to cross the lake to the east and reach the port of Plume. Okay. Great advice there. And this wandering lady says, if you can find some mithril to give to our blacksmith Tobul, who we met last episode, I'm sure he'll be able to make some amazing weapons. Well, that goes without saying, because the weapons he has now kind of suck. Let's talk to Gordon up here, Mr. Emo. Can we ask him about mithril? He says there's a mithril sword in Kashuan that had been handed down through the ages. My brother was very fond of that sword. It truly was a magnificent blade. Perhaps we can find it. Upgrade our equipment a little bit would be nice. What about the Dreadnought? What do you know? He says he's heard the rumors, and if the Dreadnought is completed, it will destroy everything in its path. What can he do to stop it? He couldn't even save his own brother. That's true. Let's show him the ring just to mess with him. He says, that ring, it's my brother's. He really said all those things about me. So I don't even think he believes that, like, his brother said that he had great strength. Let's show the king the ring. King of the ring. I don't know if he'll say anything or not, but let's find out. I mean, while we're here, yeah, you told me that stuff. Let's use the ring. Nothing happens. What about the canoe? Nothing happens. Okay, so he doesn't care about these things. That's fine. All right, back out here. We don't have any reason to stop at the shops, although we'll probably talk to Tobal here in a second. I want to get the temperature from everyone else. This guy says, is there really any hope that the war will end and the world will be at peace? The answer is no. But we're going to try our best. This kid is asking, he doesn't know what mithril is. He's asking, does it taste good? So kind of like the periodic table, you know, can I lick it chart. And then this guy says, you ought to be able to catch a ship headed to Poft if you go to Plume. Once you're in Poft, head north, you can't miss Salamand. Look, I prefer not to spend frivolous gil on transportation that we could easily walk ourselves, so we will be doing a little bit of walking, not grinding. I do that off camera because it will get very repetitive. Let's talk to Tobal, but we will make the haul because I want you to see some battles. Tobal, what's up, bro? Oh, let's ask you about mithril. He says if he had some, he could make some mighty impressive weapons and armor. Okay, what about? He doesn't care about any of these things, so he's man of few words, Tobal. He's really only interested in making weapons and talking about himself, and that's fine. All right, we're going to head to the sister cities of Plume and Poft now, and you'll see why I call them sister cities in a second. So we've got the gang's all here, and we are going to head with the canoe through here, and we'll see our first town. There are a lot of towns. A lot of towns near each other in this game. You'll start noticing in the early stages. It's a very town-heavy map at the beginning, maybe more so than other Final Fantasy games. We do see a ship parked outside of this town, but we're not going to use it. We are going to go check it out. We'll talk to everybody. This guy is asking us if we want to book passage on the ship for 32 gil. We are going to say no. Now keep in mind, if we walk all the way to Poft without taking the ship, we cannot take the ship back to Plume. We can only go between the two towns on the ship, and the ship has to be in the town that we're going from. Otherwise, you know, so if we walk to Poft, we got to walk back, is what I'm saying. And we are. The Empire hasn't attacked Plume or Poft, at least not yet, is what this gentleman says. Over here we have another one. The ship heading out of our little port will take you straight to Poft. Yeah, we figured that. There's an inn here. We'll see if there's anyone inside. Just the innkeep, not going to help us really or tell us anything. As you can see, everything's maxed out right now, so we're at full health. Let's almost walk past this guy. This pirate. Now there's a fine lass. How about you and me go have a drink? And Maria, the only female in our party, says, with you, not a chance. Okay, well, you tried, buddy. This one says Bafsk, Salamand. Once you pass Poft, they say all the cities are under the control of the Empire. That's not a good sign for us. There's another pirate-looking dude back here. What's he say? This is Plume. It's just a little port town. Okay, so nothing too interesting. Let's see what this girl says. She said Plume's a town of freedom. Want to settle down with me? Handsome. Bold of you to ask, but we're quite busy at the moment. I don't have time for dating. So this is the magic shop. Let's see what they have. Quite a bit of spells. Quite a bit of spells indeed. Blink, Protect, and Shell are new to the game here. We will probably buy those, but you know, I said the thing about sister cities. Everything that's here in Plume is also going to be in Poft. So, like, I'll do some grinding, but let's wait till we get to Poft first, because we're inevitably going to make some money on the way. Same for the armor shop. We'll check it. Well, they do have bronze. The bronze family of equipment is nice. It is nice, and we do have a copper cuirass already. What about from a weapon standpoint? Anything new there? I mean, obviously, we want to get mithril stuff eventually. Dagger and mace would be upgrades to what we have. Not going to buy them yet. Let's see how much money we have when we get to our destination of Poft, the first of many towns we will be visiting here. All right. So, let's take a trip north and start heading east towards Poft. Okay? Staff and shield. Leveled up. Good job, Minwoo. We get an antidote from that enemy. Okay. It's not really... If you don't know how to get there, it can be like a little bit confusing. But, we can easily get there. We get... we're starting to get items dropped now, which is very nice. And, of course, I will not pass up an opportunity for Maria to level up her cure spell. Every time we will be doing this. Anytime we have the opportunity, that we will do. We have a soldier here. These guys are a little bit beefier. Take a couple hits, but we're pretty well leveled up, so not enough. And he dropped a potion, so we're going to be able to have some stuff to maybe sell. More vampire thorns ahead. We'll just keep doing the attacks. Now, when we do get in the dungeons, like, we'll have enemies that have weaknesses and whatnot that we'll have to probably exploit. We're almost to Poft. Oh, quite a bit of goblins. We're ambushed. Fun stuff. Okay. Quite a bit of loot there from a gil standpoint, and we have 891 gil, which is not going to be enough to buy like everything that we want, but that's why I'll do some off-screen grinding and it'll be really, really fun. Vampire thorns, let's take them out. Again, we're just kind of passively leveling stuff. They drop some eye drops, which is nice. And now we've made it to Poft, everybody. Woo! Very exciting. Poft is a town. It is functionally identical in every way to Paloom. This woman's going to say this is the port of Poft. Salamand is to the north, and to our east is Bafsk. Don't worry, we'll get to both of those places. It has an inn with nothing in it. It has armor with the same stuff we just saw. It has these pirate-looking dudes walking around. This one says Bafsk. Bafsk. It's hard to pronounce. The city that starts with a B to our east is under the control of the Empire. They're building something terrible there. I bet it's the Dreadnought. This guy's asking if we're looking for Sid. I guess so. He's probably over in the pub. I hear a few will get you a ride on it, that airship of his. So more transportation options if we want to pay the price. There's a magic and weapon shop. They have the exact same thing. This guy's asking us if we've seen the airship. It belongs to a fellow named Sid who lives right here in Poft. And he's the only one around who can fly it. And your buddy, who looks identical to you, just told me that he's in this pub. So let's go in here now and check this out. Several people milling about. Let's talk to the bartender. Heyo. Bafsk, the city to our east, is under control of the Empire. They're building from... Okay, something terrible there. We get it. We get it. What about this dude? This is Sid. Yes, if we're here to ride the airship, if we've got the cash, there's no place that he can't take us. Well, let's ask him about the Dreadnought. He says, that oversized garbage scow. Airships aren't about how big you build them. They're all about what they can do. And let's ask him about his airship then. And he says, if you went on the airship, you pay the guy behind me, which is this gentleman here. And he said, this is Sid's underling, and he says, he asks if he can interest us in a ride on Sid's Pride and Joy, the only airship of its kind in all the world. No matter how far, we'll take you to your destination in the blink of an eye. Transportation of this fine caliber comes at a cost. Are we interested? We'll take a look. As you can see, we can go to Bafsk, which is not that far. None of these are really super far. Kashuan is a little bit of a haul. Obviously, we've been to Altair, Gatry, and Finn, and we're heading to Salamand. And Summit Falls is something we'll be encountering soon as well. It's neat. It's a neat option, but we don't really need it. What we need to do right now, or what I need to do right now, is grind so that we can get some better equipment. And I'm going to do that, and then I will check back in with you here shortly, and we'll head to our next destination. Sorry. We've beefed up our equipment a little bit here. And we're sitting pretty, and we're going to get ready to head to Salamand. Now, Salamand is going to have a whole slew of stuff that we will want to buy. But we're going to potentially make some money in the very near future in this episode. So we're not going to grind outside of Salamand right now. We've actually also left a couple things yet to purchase in Poft/Bloom, which is magic. We'll do that. I'll probably do some post-episode grinding to get all of that, because we really don't need it for what we're going to be doing here. So let's go ahead over to Salamand, which is just a little bit to the north. And in the meantime, we will take on any enemies with which we encounter. We're leveled up pretty good. As you can see, everyone's at axe level 3. So some of these are going to be no problem. We did equip Minwu with an axe. We also have bronze material on everybody. We're getting ambushed by some goblins. Not a problem. They should hopefully drop some nice gil for us. Would be lovely. There is an auto battle feature, which I am making good use of here. But fear not, because once we get into into the dungeon, we'll be using these spells that we've acquired a lot more frequently. Here's Salamand, a little bit snowy up this way. Man, that's a lot of goblins. We got 7 of them. Are you kidding me? All right, let's see if we can take them out without any problems. Yeah, I sure hope so. The one thing about Final Fantasy II, maybe more so than any other mainline game outside of like 8, is that the difference between not being leveled up and being leveled up is huge. Like, there's not really much of a gradual curve. It's either you're too weak to fight the enemies or you destroy them. There's very little in between, I feel like, at least in my experience. Let's go ahead into the town of Salamand now and see what's popping. We'll take a look at the shops. Probably not going to buy anything right now, like I said. Yeah, I mean, it's these 3 bros, the item bros. I'm going to sell this potion because I choose to live dangerously. And let's see what we got in the magic shop, just for future reference. I think we got some rather expensive spells here. Yeah, life, sap, warp, and teleport. These are all pretty useful. Especially warp and teleport as far as helping you get out of dungeons. They can also, believe it or not, be used as attack spells. Let's check on the weapons and armor as well, just to kind of get a vibe. Yeah, they got some nice stuff here. Not as nice as Mithril stuff, but definitely stuff that we'll want to purchase when we get out of here. I'm sure the armor is the same thing. I'm not going to really waste time there. Let's talk to the town folk. I was going to say, everyone seems kind of frozen in place. Let's start... to make sure we don't miss anything here at the beginning. There is a house here. Let's see what's in here. Oh, this is our sanctuary. Okay, so this town has one in case we need it. All right, let's talk to these 2 green-haired girls. Summit Falls is beyond the mountain range to the south of Salamand. That's where the Empire's been mining its mithril. Okay, so it's close by. The Empire's enslaved the men of Salamand and forced them to work in the cave at Summit Falls. Please, you have to help them. So that's why there's no men here. Logical. Let's talk to this girl. She says, I love Joseph, but I know that if I'm around, I would just get in his way. Okay? We're going to walk into your house and see what's happening. All right. So this guy looks important. It's Joseph, and he asks if we have business with him. So let's ask him let's talk about the password. He says, you're here for Princess Hilda, a little short in the tooth, aren't you? You kids can't fool me. Okay, let's ask him about the mithril. He says, oh, I haven't found any yet. I do have a few leads, but I don't plan on sharing what I do know with a bunch of perfect strangers. I'm going to need you to do a little something to prove you are who you say you are. There's a bunch of people from Salamand who are being forced to work in the cave at Summit Falls. Rescue them, and we'll talk. Okay, fair enough. Hey, what about the Dreadnought? He says, of course I've heard of it. An abomination of an airship is what it is. And the airship, my friend? He said, there's a man who knows all about airships, but why should I tell you who he is? Well, dude, we already met him. We met him in the previous town, so you can stop being an asshole and just answer our questions. Would you like to see this shiny ring? No. What about our canoe? No. All right, we'll leave you alone because you are definitely being a little brutish for us. Okay. We are going to head to Summit Falls now. No need to do anything from a health standpoint. Let's just get going. Summit Falls is pretty easy to get to. We just go to the west. We're gonna be encountering a lot of similar monsters that we've seen before, but once we get into Summit Falls, we should, keyword is should, have some enemies that are weak to things that we can exploit. I will, however, be attempting to continue to level up the cure spell, even though it's going to drain my magic points. I don't care. This is a pretty short walk, so it's not going to affect us. I probably should have bought like a tent to allow us to recover right before. That was a mistake on my part, but hey, we're saving money this way. Surely nothing can go wrong. Minwoo has the teleport feature and a bunch of cure spells, so if we need to go that route, I mean, that's why he's here. We won't always have him, but while he's here, let's use him for his purpose, which is to basically save our ass. I see no problem in that. Keep on casting Cure Furion. It's really nice. We do have the canoe, so theoretically we can just swim there, but every little bit of XP, well, not XP in this game, but every opportunity to level something up I will take. And Cure is at level 6 for Furion, which is pretty good. For Minwoo, it's at level 7, so we're kind of comparable in power in that regard. And then we'll go over here and welcome to Summit Falls. This is Summit Falls. Okay. A little bit of a dungeon action. Not terribly bad. Okay. Welcome to our first dungeon. Okay, so let's head south, and then we're gonna go west. I am following a walkthrough. There's a link in the description, just because I want to be efficient. Here's a balloon. Oh, it tried to cast self-destruct. It was not effective. I think this is weak to fire and thunder, so we'll just cast one of them and see what happens. Yeah, 300 damage. I think that's pretty fair. Okay, he didn't really drop anything, which is kind of stupid. All right, now we're going to head southeast. Actually, hold on. We're going to go west and north. We want to get all the treasure chests here, okay? And we got ambushed by a soldier. He's shooting at us. Help us, please. He's going to really be no match, but, you know, for the dramatic aspect. I'll hold off on casting Cure in here until we need it, because I do want to save our MP a little bit. There's the chest. We have plenty of goblins. We know that we could just brute force our way through these, so why not? Nice work. 145 gil for our troubles. Okay. And 200 gil in this chest. We love that. Alright, so we've got a couple ways we can go coming up. I believe I spoiled ourselves that we're going to go to the southeast, so we're going to go to the southeast. More of these goblins. They are really quite pervasive here. Good time for a hydration break. Just like the World Cup. And there's 165 gil for us. Very nice. Alright, so I'm going to continue on this way. Fighting a lot of monsters. Some Sasquatches. Okay. I don't know if those don't appear to be weak to anything, so we're just going to beat the hell out of them. They give us 92 gil. Okay, we need to go to that southeast. I see a chest over there. It's going to be ours soon. Great critical hit by Minwoo there. 27 gil for our troubles. And a couple more goblin guards that aren't doing a very good job of guarding damn near anything. And in here we have 400 gil. We are rich. All right. Now we're going to head west and go to the next floor. We're getting some good gil, so I'm hoping that this will help afford a lot of the things that we want. Of course, the enemies are likely to get scarier as we progress down here. None of them have been an issue for us so far. They've just basically been getting in our way. I'm okay with that. And we go down the steps. All right, we're in the second floor. We got a little bit of water here. Okay. We're going to go in, get back on shore once we kill these Sasquatches, which seem to be pretty common in this area. Very nice. We're doing some good health leveling as well. And then we're going to head north, and we're going to look for more water. And then we're going to go this way to find another chest. And now the guards are teaming up with the soldiers. This is a, you know, strange bedfellows situation here. I didn't expect these guys pairing up, but, you know, I've seen weirder things happen. There's our chest up here. It contains eye drops. Lovely. Back down we go. You guys can't attack worth a crap. You do drop a lot of gil, and for that, we appreciate you. Actually, we're at over 2,000 gil, so that's going to go a long way. I'm going to cast Fire and Thunder, respectively, on these guys, because we don't want them blowing up. We would rather kill them quickly. Very nice. I'm glad we leveled those up. Here's our second chest. It is a high potion. All right. See my walkthrough here. Okay. South, east, and south, huh? All right, we can do that. Juicy. And a couple more Sasquatches. We can see the, obviously we see the chest in the distance. So let's grab that. It's a potion. Not very exciting. All right, so one of the things that's kind of weird about, I think they also did this in Final Fantasy IV in a couple dungeons, but we are going to be seeing some doors up ahead, and only one of them is the correct door. If we go through the other ones, we're likely to get ambushed. So, luckily, thank you to Keyblade999 who put together this walkthrough, which I am using. And again, there is a link in the description. We need to go through the westernmost door. So we're going to go ahead and do that as we continue to level up. And this should lead us to a staircase, which will take us down to the next floor. All right, let's see. We're going to follow this south. We should find some chests nearby. The enemies haven't really changed much. We're just getting more of them, it seems like, on these later floors, which is fine. Here's a chest. We open it. 200 gil. Okay. And now we have the team up, the dream team, the goblin guards with their friend, the soldier, in the back. Well, why wouldn't you be in the front, like, kind of leading it? You're like the biggest dude. Like, tank for him, dude. Come on. They're just goblins. Anyway, we got some items. Oh, yeah. That's fire. Fire, thunder. I think they're both do about the same. We'll see. Maybe not. Oh, that took care of them real nice. Okay. We got a door up here. Again, this is like one of these doors that is just a dead end. There's some more doors up there, which we will visit, I believe. But let's check down here first. Cast the same thing, because I want to go ahead and just not have these balloons self-destruct on us. I do want to keep an eye on our MP. Not that we necessarily lose here, but we have 250 gil. I don't think that there is anything to the south. How do we check the map? You can kind of see there's nothing there. I forgot that that's a feature. We'll be using that a little bit more often. Now that I know that the Pixel Remaster has made certain things like that very, very easy. Okay. Keep going to the doors. And again, this is another situation where we want to take the correct one. And the walkthrough is telling us that doors number 2 and 3 are empty, so we're going to take this one. And we get into kind of a little area here. Let's talk to these folk. Help us, please. Help us, please. Okay. Help us, please. We got it. Help us, please. You guys can say something different. All right. Let's talk to the girl first. This is Nelly. It's country grammar. This is Paul. We remember him. He says, Farion, it's you. Am I ever glad you're here? And he says, this is Joseph's daughter, Nellie. I think that dastardly Borgen's been holding her hostage to threaten Joseph. Princess Hilda told you to bring her back some mithril, right? That's normally where I step in. Yeah, because you're a thief. I figured out that this was where the mithril was coming from easy enough. So I thought I'd get the jump on you guys and nab the mithril before you could get here. Only I messed up and got caught. Me of all people. Hard to believe, isn't it? Why are these people so full of themselves in this game? Paul then says, well, I know when I'm in over my head so long, but don't worry, I'll take everyone here with me. Thanks for saving us. I owe you one. So we saved Paul, we saved Joseph's daughter, and all of these slaves in here, and then they all escape, and none of them want to help us. Which, you know, I guess they're not obligated to, but, like, come on, dude. Like, you know, and that's what I understand. Like, there's still monsters. Like, you know, it's not like we killed all the monsters. You still got to fight through them. You could have left at any time. The door wasn't locked or anything. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me, but here we are. Okay. Back into Summit Falls. Again, I'm going to take a look at the map here just to kind of collect our bearings so we can go west and north. The soldier-led Goblin Division. Hot on our heels here. Hopefully dropping a lot of gil for us. And looks like there's a chest. Let's grab it. It's a fire tome. So we can use this to learn the fire spell. I already have fire on 2 people. I'm not going to do that. You can also use it as an item in battle one time, and it will do like a super concentrated burst of fire. We're likely just going to sell it. I'm just going to be honest. We're going to need the money if we're going to want to buy everything in Salamand and these other towns. Woo, especially if we start getting mithril stuff. Woo. We're gonna need it. Okay, let's see. Where do we want to go here? I'm guessing... Yeah, return where the bridge ended. Yeah, go north. Okay, yeah. So that's the only thing in here. It's pretty simple. Let's cast fire. Like, we could cast that fire tomb here and it would just be sick, but again, let's be reasonable. That could fetch us some extra gil, and we're gonna need that. So a lot of encounters, high encounter rates here in Summit Falls. I mean, we're getting some pretty good stuff. I just want to check one more time. Okay, we're good there. Go around. This looks kind of like a pretty straightforward path. Green slimes. Ooh, what are we weak to? I think fire, right? Green slimes, blizzard or fire. Well, let's cast blizzard. We haven't done that in a while. Should take care of him pretty easy, right? Oh, beautiful. We're still doing pretty decent on MP. I mean, those have pretty high physical defense, so I mean, we could physically attack them, but it just gets kind of tedious and cumbersome. We're better off just using our magic against those. All right. Plenty of gil. What are we sitting at? 4,100. That's real nice. I don't think it's going to solve all of our problems. It's not really problems. It's more like FOMO at this point with these items. Like, we're obviously leveled and geared up pretty good. I don't... Oh, we can't use... Blizzard does really nothing to these guys. I got him confused with the slime. Whoops. We wasted like 3 whole magic points. All right. Man, this dungeon is wilder than I thought. So we have a very long bridge here. We've been ambushed. Not good, not good, but I think we have enough health that we'll be just fine. I mean, they're gonna... Some of these balloons are gonna try to cast self-destruct, which will kill them, but also damage us. We don't want that to happen, but if it happens, we're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Now, if you remember, a while back in episode 1, we hung out for a little bit in the tutorial room with all the wizards. Remember the big circle of wizards? And they told us that some chests will have enemies in them, but that those chests will also have a propensity for better loot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to encounter one. So, this chest right here, which I think is the final chest in this dungeon, we're gonna see what it has in store for us. But first, it's gonna have a monster. It's a land turtle, which we have not faced yet. Luckily, turtles are generally weak to ice. And we have 2 people with a level 3 blizzard spell. So I think we'll make pretty short work of this guy. Yeah, not a threat in the slightest. He drops 37 gil. And behind him, he leaves a teleport tome, which is a great, fantastic spell. In fact, I'm probably going to teach it to someone. Now, Minwoo already knows this spell, but I think now is a good time to get our friend Guy in the game. He is going to learn teleport. Teleport's pretty expensive normally, so finding one out here is advantageous to us. Certainly nothing wrong with equipping it on someone. Now we have 2 people that can fast travel us out of the dungeon at any time, provided they have the MP. And like I said before, you can use it as an attack spell to like warp enemies out. Kind of interesting. But I don't know if you could do that in any of the other games. Regardless, we have more work to do in this dungeon, so we are not going anywhere yet. Back around we go, fighting larger and larger groups of enemies on our way, as you would probably expect. And the long bridge, we're back. I am going to go ahead and, again, use some magic here to deal with these guys, even though we do have a preemptive strike, which you can see we barely do any damage to him. We actually did 0 damage attacking that one physically, so yes, it's a good opportunity to use magic. All right, back up here. We'll go to the north path that we did not take. Let's go ahead and cast Thunder. Kind of spread out the love here a little bit. Decent. 113 gil. So up here we have a door, and we have another door. And in keeping with tradition of this particular dungeon, we're going through the left-hand door, because it is the one. And here we see what appears to be a bad guy. The dark face and the red eyes certainly didn't give it away. He says, rebels, never thought I'd have to deal with your kind down here. If you think you're getting mithril, you'd be right. My mithril blade straight through your heart. Clever. And we have a boss fight. I don't think we need to worry about too much here. Let's try a round of attacks and see where this gets us. Okay. That didn't land. That didn't land. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, he's good. All right, let's yikes. Let's go ahead and cast we'll cast fire and thunder, I think, on him. I'm going to cast cure on the whole party here. We might have to deal with magic with this guy because he's pretty strong. And it doesn't look like, even though we have our axes leveled up to level 3, that they're really penetrating his armor much. He hits us with the bow shot. Again, I'm going to go ahead. I'll stick with thunder. I think is doing the best here. Attack. And attacking there. Our first actual respectable enemy. And he's beefy. All right. I think we can afford another round of thunder. I'm glad we held on to some magic points there. Very nice. And that takes care of him. Our axe leveled up. That's cool for Maria and Minwoo, and his shield also leveled up. We got 150 gil. And we got the mithril. We got the MacGuffin everyone's been after this entire episode. All right. Now, oh, a little bit of thunder outside. Now's probably a good time to warp out of the dungeon. We can do that with teleport, which we just learned. So we will go ahead and do that. And boom, we're here outside the dungeon. Now we just need to head back to town. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll level up or grind out a little bit as much as we can on the way. Nothing too crazy. But I think we can stand to throw some attacks at these guys. Absolutely incredible. And the goblins. Hey, you know, you guys, your friends in the cave actually had like a soldier with them, like a humanoid soldier. Like maybe you should get one of those, and then maybe you'd be better off. Like having like a leader. Kind of seemed to be all over the place. Nope, just gonna come at me in groups of 6 to 8. That's fine. Oh, guy took some serious damage from that. Holy crap. Alright, let's use our let's use Maria's cure spell here. This is a good opportunity to maybe level that up a bit. We're gonna be checking in at the inn anyway. Let's do that. Back at Salamand. Definitely gonna check into the inn. And probably call it a day there. So, just to recap, we became self-sufficient. We left Altair with the canoe and Minwoo, not meant to rhyme, checked out the sister cities of Palum and Poft, traveled to Salamand where we met up with Joseph. We rescued Paul and Joseph's daughter and a bunch of the townsfolk from Summit Falls and got some mithril. And now we're back here in Salamand, ready to presumably trek back to Altair in the next episode. I am going to grind out the characters a little bit here, gear up. We've got some more excitement coming down the line that we want to be ready for. So stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll resume this very captivating story with your very reliable and handsome narrator. Feel free to subscribe. We would appreciate that. See you next time.